Hey, this is Eden Slobin, and I'm here to share with you step by step how to host and present at a successful shake tasting party. Shake tastings are amazing tools because they provide social proof. People can hear real stories, they can try the products, they can get their questions answered. It's a great way to provide validation to your prospects. And so without further ado, let's just jump right into it. Now, separately, there's a video that walks through the etiquette, how to set up the room properly, and even for the host to make a proper introduction. So assuming that all of that has happened, now you're getting up in front of the room. And the first thing you want to do is acknowledge your guests for having you. So I always let people know that I'm really honored to be here tonight, to be able to share with you something that has completely transformed my life. And what you're about to hear and the information that you're about to receive has the ability to take your life from where it is today to where it deserves to be. And I'm so grateful to be able to share that with you. And so that's how I will get pretty much every shake tasting started. And then I'm going to ask, because I want to get a sense for who's in the room. So I'll ask the question, how many of you are already enjoying our products? And I'll raise my arm up just like this. How many of you are already enjoying our products? And some people who are already on the products will raise their hands. Great, thank you. I'm thanking them for participating. Then I'm going to ask the question of how many of you are taking a look for the first, second, maybe third time? And I'll put my arm up so that they know I want them to raise their hands. So I'm going to get a sense right away for who are the guests in the room. And that's it. And once I know who's in the room, I'm going to say something like, I'm just going to go into my story. I'd love to share with you how I ended up here. And my personal story starts with Zach. Zach, my husband, introduced me. So if you have somebody that introduced you, you can kind of open up that way. I keep my story very short. Here's exactly what I say. I say 3.5 years ago, I was struggling with my weight. I kept going up and down the same 15 to 20 pounds. And when Zach walked into my life, he was in amazing shape. And why was he in amazing shape? And I'll show his slide. He was in amazing shape because Zach had been on Isagenix for about 60 days. And in that time, he dropped 20 pounds of fat, went down 3 jean sizes, and went from 15% to 8% body fat. So naturally, the first time I saw him take off his shirt, I wanted to know exactly what he was doing. And so Zach shared Isagenix with me. Now, we had just started dating, so the fact that he took these before photos of me was totally mortifying. But it was the greatest thing that I ever did because I got on the system, and in my first month or so, I dropped 12 pounds, 25 inches. I went down 2 dress sizes, and I felt better than I ever felt before. Because this isn't just about weight loss. This is about waking up feeling amazing. And I felt like I came out of a fog that I didn't even know I was in. I started waking up feeling passionate and excited about life again. And ever since then, I just haven't been able to stop talking about it. And so what I'm going to do in just a moment is I'd love to just play a video. I want to play a video so you guys really understand how and why these products work so effectively. But first, I want to answer a question that I get asked all the time. How many of you are wondering, how many of you are wondering what makes Isagenix different than every other product on the market? And some people will raise their hands. Great, thank you. So how many of you are wondering what makes Isagenix different than anything else on the market? So the way I like to describe it, and here you're going to have to kind of use an analogy that makes sense in your market. So we've been doing a lot of these events in Hawaii. So I always use an analogy that makes sense for that market. So here's how I describe the difference between Isagenix and everything else on the market. It's kind of like poke bowls. Does everyone love poke bowls? Who doesn't? Okay, well, what's the difference between a poke bowl from Times Market and a poke bowl from Tamora's? And people laugh because Times Market is where they're going to get a really low end, kind of several days old, fishy tasting poke bowl, whereas Tamora's they're going to get the highest end possible poke bowl. So I let them give me the answer. I say, what separates the poke bowl from Tamora's and from Times? And people will call out the ingredients, the quality, the freshness. So I'm going to say, great, thank you. It's the same thing with Isagenix. It's the sourcing, the ingredients, the quality, the commitment. Would you agree that Tamora's is committed to providing the best product for the customer, that they're committed to sourcing the best ingredients for the customer? Would you agree that that's true? Yes. Well, Isagenix is the exact same way. See, Isagenix travels to the furthest reaches of the world to collect ingredients that have been used for thousands of years to help keep cultures healthy. And these are ingredients that are free of pesticides, herbicides, heavy metals, and different chemicals. They're not genetically modified. These are products that are very close to the earth. Because wouldn't you agree that we live in a toxic world? And wouldn't you agree that it's our environment that's really making us sick, that's causing us to gain all this weight? Because wouldn't you agree that most people don't eat clean because they can't afford it? And how many of you believe that people would eat healthier if it was more convenient and more affordable? See, I'm teeing them up here. How many of you would agree that you would eat healthier if it was more convenient and more affordable, or that people would eat healthier or if it was more affordable and more convenient? Okay? And everybody's going to raise their hands. And really what we're offering them is this ability to eat clean and more affordable. So to eat clean in a way that's more affordable and more convenient. So we're planting that seed now already. And I might say something to also set them up for the video. I might say something like, Isagenix's philosophy is all about drenching the body with very dense nutrition so that it can let go of what's not serving it. So without further ado, I'm just going to play this video so that you can hear from scientists, doctors, people who are way smarter than I am, none of whom are paid for their endorsements, as to how and why these products work so effectively. And then I'm just going to play the video. And so we have the Are You Toxic video that's going to play. Of course, ahead of time, you have tested all of your technology to make sure that the sound is working, and the video will play. And then next, I'm going to ask how many of you got some of your questions answered during that video. And most people are going to raise their hands. I'll ask if there are any questions about that video. And oftentimes people will not raise their hands because so many of the questions got answered. I might point out something that I loved about the video. So I love that the doctors point out that you're not actually losing muscle mass. You're not actually losing muscle mass. See, the problems with diets out there, and notice the first 3 letters in the word diet is die, because you feel like you're going to die. Okay, that's a good place to make a joke. Feel like you're going to die. One of the problems with diets is that you're restricting the body so much that it starts to burn its own muscle and lose water weight. But with Isagenix, you're actually burning that sticky fat. How many of you like the idea of burning sticky fat? So you're getting the engagement of the audience. You're letting them know this is a conversation. This isn't just me talking at you. This is a conversation. Now, what I'd love to do next is I'd love to invite up a couple of your friends so that you can hear from them what these products have done. And at this point, I'm going to bring in a couple of people who have been on the products. Doesn't matter for how long. It could be a short period of time, a longer period of time. They will have been prepped ahead of time. You've got to prep these people so that they can practice their story and be able to tell it in 30 seconds tops. 30-second story, something along the lines of, before Isagenix, I was feeling blank, blank, and blank. Thankfully, whomever introduced me to Isagenix, I've been using the products for however long, and since then, here's what I'm experiencing. Literally a 30-second truncated story. So you have a couple of them come up, thank them for sharing their stories, and then we're going to get right back to it. Then you're going to ask the group, how many of you would love to know what a 30-day system looks like? You keep hearing the word 30-day system. How many of you would love to know what that looks like? Great. Now you're going to pull up this slide. I always say, now here's where I'd like to dispel some myths. Now, how many of you have kind of an association when you hear the word cleanse? What are some words that you think of? Just call them out. And sometimes I'll have to prompt the group, but hopefully if it's a really engaged group, they're going to yell things out like poop, bathroom, starving, hunger, headaches, whatever. And I'm going to say, great, thank you so much. Okay, it's none of those things. You're not going to be in the bathroom the whole time. You're going to feel amazing. In fact, on cleanse days for me, I feel the most creative and the most alive. I feel so good. And on cleanse days, that's where a lot of that deep, sticky fat gets burnt off. This is the deep fat burning days. How many of you guys like the idea of deep fat burning happening? Yes, great. So here's what it looks like. This isn't like a poopy cleanse. This is a pee-pee cleanse. So you might be in the restroom, you might urinate a little bit more, but that's just your body letting go of toxins that aren't serving you. That's it. And so on cleanse days, it's really simple. You're being supported with nutrition, but it's liquid nutrition. So you're not using knife and fork food on those days. You're allowing your digestive system to rest so that you can process out everything that's not serving you. And that's just 1 day a week. Now, every other day, so 6 days a week, are your shake and cleanse days. Are your shake and food days. Now, on your shake and food days, 2 of your meals are going to be replaced with isogenics meals. Now, 1 isogenic shake has the equivalent of 3 plated meals of organic food in terms of its nutritional value. So how much would you say it costs to get 3 plated meals of organic food? And let the audience shout some numbers out. You'll hear things like $50, $80. Tell a personal story. When we were in Hawaii, I said, Zach and I just got 2 salads the other day for $54. How many of you like the idea of getting that much nutrition for under $3? Okay, so again, we're just planting more seeds. So on shake days, you're replacing 2 of your meals. You're going to feel satiated. You're going to feel full. The shakes taste amazing, and they take 2 seconds to make. So get ready to have a lot more convenience and ease in your life. Now, on these shake and cleanse days, you have the ability to get a pack that comes with all of your snacks. So literally all you would be responsible for is 1 healthy, balanced meal if you were to get that pack. Otherwise, 2 shakes a day. You take care of your snacks, have a balanced meal, and that's it. This system is so simple to follow. Are there any questions I can answer about that? Most people won't have questions if you've done a good job. So what I'd love to do next is I'd love to play another video. See, there's a saying in isogenics that people come for the products, but they stay for the culture. They stay for the community and for the people. And what's been so special for me, and then just tell a story very briefly. What's been so special for me is really gaining this group of people who have become like family, and knowing how many people there are supporting me and supporting all of you that you haven't even met yet. And I just want to point out again that nobody in this video is a paid actor. These are real people who are sharing their real experiences because they're so passionate about what this company has done for them. And so then at that point, I'm going to play the isogenics difference video, which is up next. Or if I have a group that I know is going to be mostly under 35, I'm going to set it up a little bit differently, and I'm going to play the start video instead of the isogenics difference video. So in the slide deck, what you'll see that there are 2 videos at this stage. One is hidden. The one that's hidden is either the isogenics difference or the start video. So you're just going to unhide the one that you're going to play that night with the demographic, the group of people that you have coming, and you'll hide the other one. And so if I'm going to introduce the start video, what I'm going to say is there's a very special section of the company that's ages 18 to 35. That's called the start group, that now in just the last 4 years has created a community of over 62,000 people. And it's a really special way for young people to come and express themselves and be a part of something where they truly have an ability to make an impact. And I'm so proud of this group. I'm so proud to be a part of it. And I might say something like, if you're, how many of you are under the age of 35? And, they'll raise their hands. And how many of you know somebody under the age of 35? See, we want everybody to raise their hands so that everybody feels included in the video, even if they don't fall into that age range. So I'm going to set it up like that. If you play the start video, Zach and I are in it, so you can say something like, look out for the guy in the blue shirt and the beard. That's my friend Zach, or that's my partner Zach. He and his wife have blah, 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 and you can just very quickly, share a story. If you work with us personally, you can say that. But that's an amazing video. I think that the start video is my favorite one. So anytime you have the majority of the people at your shake tasting that are under 35, I would say play that video. It's a little bit shorter, and it's really impactful. So I'm going to play the video. So here's the start video. Now, when you're in the slides, you have to press this one twice for whatever reason to get it to play.
All young people, no matter where they're from.
And then I'm gonna let the video play until the very end, and I'm not gonna change this slide yet. But I'm always gonna ask the question immediately after. I'm gonna say, how many of you feel inspired by that video? And then whether it's the Isagenix difference or the start video, how many of you feel inspired by that video? And most people will raise their hands. Most people will be a little bit choked up. And then I'm just gonna say something that I love about the video. So the Isagenix difference video, usually I'll say, you know, I love how Lisa, you know, she's a part of the 100-pound club, and she says that, you know, anybody can do this, and if she could do it, then I can do it. Well, anybody can do this. I'm a high school dropout and I didn't go to college. If I can do this, you can do this. Or whatever your story is. Or in the start video, something that kind of that tugs at you. And I allow that to be something that happens organically for me, so that it gives me the opportunity when I'm sitting in the room to watch the video with a fresh lens, with a new set of eyes, so that I can find something in that moment that I think is really going to speak to the crowd, that I can pull from the video that's true for me in that moment and share what I loved. And I just feel that it just feels a lot more authentic for me that way. So just watch the video like you're a brand new person seeing it for the first time, and you're gonna hear things, you're gonna hear lines get dropped that you'll just be able to play off of and allow yourself to just kind of go with it, but you can keep it really, really brief. And then, what's it worth? What would it be worth to wake up every single day knowing for sure that you're in the best possible health? What would it be worth to know that you're going to be around to watch your kids, your grandkids, and in some cases your great-grandkids grow up? What would it be worth to wake up feeling confident, feeling certain, feeling sexy? What would it be worth? Call out some numbers. What price would you put on that? And people might call out prices, but most people are going to say priceless. And so I'm going to respond. I said, priceless? Let's see if you're serious about that. Or let's see how serious you are. Because we're going to put a price on it. There's 3 different ways to get started. And I'm going to point at the screen. I'm going to point at the screen just like this. I'm just going to point at the screen when I'm pointing out a particular pack. And this is, we're not getting too into it here. This is the Business Builder pack. This is a great pack for you to have enough for 30 days and share some other products with your household. This pack breaks down to $40 a day. It's $10.99. I don't spend a lot of time on this pack, you guys, because I don't love the Business Builder pack for reasons that we don't have to get into right now. But from a duplication standpoint, it's not my favorite pack. So I just spent just 2 seconds on it, just so that they have 3 options. I just really, really quick. So this is the Business Builder pack. It's going to give you enough products for 30 days and then some to share with your household. It's $10.99, breaks down to about $40 a day. And then there's the Getting Started pack. The Getting Started pack breaks down to $10 a day. And remember that you're replacing 2 of your meals. How many of you are spending less than $10 a day right now on 2 of your meals? Okay, we're raising our hand again. How many of you are spending less than $10 a day right now on 2 of your meals? Chances are nobody's going to raise their hands. And if that's the case, I'm going to say, then all of you are going to save money on your grocery bill. Isagenix is just food. Instead of spending money on food that's not getting you the results that you want, instead you're going to reallocate it towards getting the results that you do want. So the Getting Started pack is a good pack. It's $272 plus a $29 membership that gives you wholesale pricing for the entire year. It's a bare bones basic system, but still a good pack. And then there's the value pack, the President's pack. This is my favorite pack. This is what 95% of the people I work with get started on. This pack breaks down to $20 a day, but this is the pack I referred to earlier that comes with all of those snacks. So it includes the basic system, but you're also getting a box of delicious chocolates, some bars, which you're going to be sampling in a few minutes. They taste like candy. I like to chop them up and keep them in a Ziploc in my purse so I can snack on them all day long. They're so good. You get a box of AM and PM vitamins. They're neat little tear packs. You can actually feel them going to work in your body. You also get with this a free membership, a free travel blender that you can just take with you, and a box of e-shots that are healthy energy drinks that help you have an amazing, focused energy surge without the crash after. And this pack is $5.59. And just as we have systems to help you get healthy, we also have systems that allow you to get the the cost of your products covered by the company. How many of you like the idea of getting the company to cover the cost of your products? Most people will raise their hands. If not, I might call them out. Okay? I might say, those of you who don't have your arms raised, you're lying. I might just make a joke out of it. And then I'm just going to share a really quick story here. I'm going to say, when I first got started on these products, it didn't take long before all of my friends started noticing. How many of you would agree that if you lost 10, 15, 20 pounds that your friends would notice? How many of you would agree that if you had tons of energy and you were bouncing off the walls, that your friends would notice? That's exactly what happened for me. So all of my friends started asking me what I was doing. I helped them get started as customers, and I earned an extra few $1,000s in my first few months. And I was doing this in the pockets of my day. Now, of course, I worked hard in that time and I had to learn some new skills, but ever since then, it's just continued to grow the more that I've been willing to grow. And I've always had Isagenix cover the cost of my products since my very first month. How many of you like the idea of that? Awesome. Well, I'd love to show you just the very basics of how this works. So what I'm going to proceed to do is I'm going to draw out you plus two, them plus two, which I'm not going to cover on this webinar. We might make another video which lays it out, or there's plenty of videos on YouTube that show you exactly how to draw it. It's a very specific system. There's even a template that is taught at University in Action, which we can include. We'll get that link to you, or you can just search for it. So you're drawing out you plus two, them plus two for them. And here's exactly what I do. I'm going to ask for a volunteer, or I'm going to remember a person that I was talking with before the shake tasting started, one of the guests who I kind of kept in my mind as somebody who I think would be amazing. So let's say that person's name is Susie. Susie, would you be my volunteer? You can stay in your seat, but would you be my volunteer? Susie will say yes. Great. I'm going to ask Susie. Susie, who are two people that you know would for sure want to do this with you? Susie's going to give me the names of a couple of people. So who are two people that you know would for sure want to do this with you? And Susie's going to say Jessica and Rob. So I'm going to write Jessica and Rob in the circles. I'm going to draw out you plus two, them plus two. I'm going to show Susie and the rest of the room how Susie can earn $820 just by getting a couple of customers started who get a couple of customers started with the products. I'm always going to use the example of the President's Pack, just like we use in UIA, just like it's the example set in that template. And what I'm going to say is if you're interested in learning more about how this can grow, then just stay after, come find me, ask some questions. If I'm brand new, or if you're brand new as a speaker, essentially what you're going to be doing is you're going to just turn them back to the compensation plan video. That's at oureasysystem.com. It's under the Get Paid to Share tab. So if you're newer to all of this, don't attempt to draw it all out and show them everything. You'll just be sending them to a 10-minute video where they can get the full information. And don't hesitate to say, look, I'm brand new, I've seen it. I would just love to share this video with you because it covers everything. So again, you're just going to pass them along to a tool. But if you're interested in learning more about this, definitely stick around. We're going to answer your questions. And that's it. You're just going to show them you plus two, them plus two. And then here's how you're going to close. You're going to say, in a moment. Okay, that's a key, in a moment. Because if you don't say in a moment, they're going to get up. They're going to think it's over. So in a moment, we're going to taste some shakes. In a moment. But first, here's what I'd love to offer you. Just imagine that what you've been going to bed at night praying for every single night. Imagine that this is it. Imagine that this is the answer to your prayers. That this is your lifeline. Just imagine. What's the worst that could happen? Put these products in your body. If you don't like them, 30-day money-back guarantee. Get your money back. It's free. If you do like it, and then I'll point to the you plus two, them plus two that I wrote on a whiteboard or a flip chart or something, I'll point to it. If you do like it, it can be free. You have nothing to lose. So in a moment, we're going to taste some shakes. We're all here to answer your questions and help those of you who feel like you have enough information to get started. We're going to help you get started tonight. Thank you so much for having me and for the amazing energy that you poured into me. Thank you. That's it. That's it. Simple as that. And then you'll play the music again. You should have had music playing before people showed up. You're going to play the music again. There will be a designated person that's going to be making shakes, and you can go to your guests and you can ask, what did you like most? Which pack do you feel like is the right fit for you? And do you feel like you have enough information to get started tonight? So you're going to go to your guests, you're going to teach your people to go to your guests, and you're going to ask 3 questions. What did you like most? Which pack do you feel is the right fit for you? Do you feel like you have enough information to get started tonight? Simple as that. All right, I hope that you guys found this valuable and you will put lots of shake tastings on your calendar because they work. Bye.